Today's prayer, I said this prayer a little over 2 years ago. It's worth repeating. Dear God, I pray that you grant President Zelensky boldness as he stands up to the forces of wickedness in high places and as he stands up for the beloved country of Ukraine. By the power of the blood of the Lamb, I pray that God gives you grace to overcome these forces. I pray that you grant peace and safety for the Ukraine and their country's people. Lord, I give you all the glory and honor and praise. Amen.
Amen.
On February 14th, for Department of Water Resources, I approved hiring Robert Carter for the position of McFarland Wastewater Treatment Plant Chief Operator to be effective February 26, 2024, at the rate of $32.17 per hour with a one-year probationary period. This offer of employment is contingent upon the successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions. And on February 20th, for a liquor license, I concurred with the Montville Township trustees in not requesting a hearing on the liquor license being requested by RRLA LLC, located at 9706 Madison Road, first floor only, Montville, Ohio. And for the department, on that same day, for the Department on Aging, I approved hiring Mandy Hudick for the position of full-time information and referral assistant to be effective March 4th, 2024, at the rate of $15.41 per hour with a one-year probationary period. This offer of employment is contingent upon the successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions. And I approve the promotion of Elizabeth Reichert to the position of full-time food service coordinator to be effective February 26, 2024, at the rate of $22.56 per hour, and will complete the remainder of her one-year probationary period. Further, I approve the promotion of Joshua Burton to the position of full-time chore and home safety projects coordinator to be effective February 26, 2024, at the rate of $23.41 per hour with a 180-day probationary period. I granted permission to advertise for the position of full-time recreation and education assistant. This position will remain posted until filled. And per the action taken by the Board of Commissioners on December 19, 2023, I approved and executed the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging Provider Agreement with the Geauga County Department on Aging for Alzheimer's respite for the period July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024, in the amount of $14,977. And for item number 2, financials on February 20th, I approved vouchers of $3,332.41 from the Commissioner's Office to Geauga County Treasurer for property taxes on the parcels whose taxation is not currently being appealed to the State Tax Commissioner.
We have a motion for the meeting of December 28th.
I make that motion. Yes.
Good morning. Today's financials include an appropriations transfer from the Commissioner's miscellaneous account to the probate and public defender to pay unemployment claims that had not previously been budgeted, and cash transfers from the Transportation Administration and Transportation Capital Funds to close out the capital fund in accordance with a petition granted by the courts pursuant to ORC 5705.14, Section B, Paragraph B, and return the balance of both funds to the County General Fund in satisfaction of an unpaid cost allocation invoice from the second quarter of 2023, and to refund the balance of a cash advance granted by the Commissioners on December 10th, 2019. Among the encumbrances is a formal contract PO from Maintenance to Integrated Precision Systems Incorporated for the purchase of additional security cameras for the Safety Center. And among the vouchers are $22,080 from various departments to Expert IT for computer software licenses, $47,663.25 from the Engineer's Office to Cuyahoga Fence LLC for the Bainbridge Road project, and $18,845.92 from the Sheriff's Office to Lexipol LLC for a policy training software package.
I make a motion on the financials.
Second?
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you very much. And number 5 on the agenda is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and authorize the President of the Board to execute the Geauga County Auditor's current agricultural use valuation renewal application, Form DTE 109A, for 5 parcels, including parcel number 13-015313, 13-015512, 13-015513, 13-015514, and 13-015515.
I make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Just one item this morning, item number 6. The county engineer's office requesting the board approve and execute change order number 1 and final, decreasing the contract with Cargo Companies Incorporated for the asphalt resurfacing of Washington Street, County Highway 606, sections A and B, in Bainbridge Township, in the amount of $61,662.61.
I make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you.
Morning.
Okay, number 7 on the agenda from Planning Commission, they're requesting the board approve and execute Henderson Lake Development replat of sublots 117 through 119 and sublots 140 and 141. What that is going to do is create sublot 117R. It's located in Newberry Township. The property owners are consolidating for township zoning in order to build a new home. And the replat process is required, and the grand total consolidated acreage is 0.7715 acres, and it's located on Lake Drive and Springview Drive, which are both private roads in Henderson Lake. And the Planning Commission approved that on February 13th.
I make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Let me move on to the other one. The next one on the agenda, number 8, Planning Commission is also requesting the board approve and execute Hickorydale allotment replat of sublots 65 through 67 and part of sublot 64. Again, this is another lot consolidation, Newberry Township required by the township zoning inspector. It's going to create sublot 65R in the Hickorydale allotment. It's going to total 0.423 acres. And it's located, again, on a private drive, Lakeview Drive in Hickorydale, and it is to accommodate the construction of a new home.
We have a motion.
Make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Thank you. Morning, Ruth.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. This is item number 9 on the agenda. This is a grant agreement that we apply for a grant every year with Western Reserve Area on Aging. It runs September 1st to 23 to August 31st to 24. It's specifically for a reimbursement for the time we spend with the seniors working on Medicare savings plans and other programs that help save their money with their Medicare plans and prescription costs. The amount is $5,717.23.
I make that motion.
I'll second that.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth.
Morning. How are you guys?
Frank, how are you?
Good. I'm here for the next 2 items, 10 and 11. The first is to ask you guys to accept the statement of qualifications that we've received for professional design services from Then Design to move forward with design for the youth center. So, they, we had, some preliminary just talks with them about, the youth center, and I think they will do a great job. Obviously, they've done good work for the county on a number of projects, and we think, we'd like to pursue that with them.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you very much. And the next item relates to the Commissioner's Office reimbursing us for the funds that we did not receive when we suspended, our levies in relation to the tax issues earlier in the year. And so we were just asking the Commissioner's Office to go forward, and I know the Commissioner's Office made a commitment to doing that, and so we're asking to make that formal motion.
I make that motion.
Thank you.
Second?
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Good morning, Glenn.
Morning, Commissioner.
How are you?
Morning. Items 12, 13, and 14 are for gateway project administrators, where we had 2 contract coordinators, 1 left. So we're changing that position for the project manager with all the projects, get ready to come up with everything. I
Okay.
think this is in the best interest of not just my department, but the county and all.
Yep. Sounds good.
So make a motion for 12, 13, and 14?
Second?
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks. Good morning.
Catherine.
Water Resources has 2 items. The first one, we would are requesting to be granted permission to rebid for the Aquila wastewater treatment plant improvement project. The first bid, there was no bidders. So we would like to go out to bid again. The bid opening will be held on Wednesday, March 20th, 2024 at 2 p.m. And then the notices will be in the paper on February 29th, March 7th, and also on the county website.
Approximately, what's the total job cost on it?
You know what? I'm not sure.
Like 5 or 6 million, or?
No, I want to say less than 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Okay, and then the next item, it's actually just a little cleanup. We have some credit cards with Home Depot, and one of the cards just wasn't working. So we had to get a new card, so there's a new number issued on it. It's the one that's issued for Nicholas Horace, our director and sanitary engineer. So just approval to for him to be able to use that card.
I make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you.
The next item is just we're requesting the board approve placing Kathy Petrella from the Assistant Director in Department on Aging on paid administrative leave effective February 14th, pending the outcome of the disciplinary process.
Do we need a motion?
Yes.
I make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Anything else you want to cover that one?
So the first resolution that's on our list today is a request for honoring Lee Imhoff as the 2024 Leadership Jogger Emerald Leader Award winner.
I make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Next up is the Kenston Service Unit for Girl Scouts is doing their awards coming up this weekend on Sunday, and have requested resolutions for Junior Scout Troop 70298 for achieving their bronze award. 7 1117 for receiving their silver award, which is a cadet troop. Troop 71484 for receiving their silver award, which is also a cadet troop. And then individual gold awards for Samantha Sundergaft and Sophie Boudris.
I'll make that motion. Second?
So they go from 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Then 24 and 25 is a request that came in for Eagle Scout Awards. And this is the first brother and sister pair in the county to receive their Eagle Scout, and that is for Lillian Warner and Aiden Warner.
Did they do a project together, or?
They did individual projects,
Okay.
but they're brother and sister in the same troop.
Cool.
So that's 24 and 25.
I make the motion for 24 and 25.
Second?
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Lou, I don't know if there's anything that you want to say in regards to this, or no? Okay. Okay. This is the resolution to establish the Jaga County 911 Program Review Committee. It's required under ORC 128.06C1. And this designates Commissioner Spitaleri, the President of the Commissioners, to serve as the chairperson on the committee. And then additional members that will be established is Sheriff Scott Grant and Jeff Martin from Baker's Township Trustees.
I make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spitaleri?
Aye.
We'll give you a minute to sign away.
Yeah, all those awards for the kids.
All right.
Next is your executive session.
Well, just, morning.
Good. I make a motion to go in executive session.
I'll second that, and it's going to be for the purpose of discussing employment and compensation of a public employee. The president will be...
Dan
from building department, and ask Linda to be there too.
Okay, sounds good.
Myself.
Yep, perfect.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spitaleri?
Aye.
I've been involved with you for goodness sake. Discussion.
Okay, we are back from executive session at 10:27, no action. And the only other things then, do you want to cover the prosecutor items to get approved?
Prosecutor items.
What's that?
The prosecutor items, do you cover those?
The number 28,
Requests.
do you want to do your,
Do you want me to talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay. The Mother May I?
Yes.
Okay. As you know,
She's a mom.
we are required now by the prosecutor to get a motion from the board when we want legal help on different things, even very small things. And so we have before you today 3 items that we need to have the prosecutor work with us on, and so we need a motion from you. As you know, I have been working, and it has been extremely frustrating and slow, but we're finally to the last step in getting the CIC restarted. In order to do that, there's going to need to be a resolution to allow the county treasurer to appoint the board to move forward by law, but when we got the resolution from the attorney for the CIC, it was indicating that the treasurer would do the resolution, and we're not sure that's the way it's supposed to be. We need to have legal counsel to look at that to see what the exact steps will be in order to finish that process. In addition, every year, you guys are required to give a certain amount of money to the engineer for deer removal on the roadways, and that's usually done by a memorandum of understanding, and we're trying to get that wrapped up, but in order to look at it from our perspective, we need legal counsel. We need to have your permission to ask for that. And then the last thing has to do with, as you know, the Maple Fest is coming up, and we received a request from courthouse personnel to set up a shuttle service so that court employees could park at 470 and be shuttled to the courthouse just for 3 days during the Maple Fest. But in order to do that, we need to have a memorandum of understanding that Department on Aging is able to supply a vehicle to do that. And they are willing to do that as long as we just reimburse to them the cost of the driver and the time and what have you. But in order to have that memorandum of understanding done, we need legal input, and so we need permission from that to ask the prosecutor to do that. Is that what you were looking for from me? Gotcha.
I'll make a motion on item 28.
Second?
Yes.
Aye.
Thank you.
So who's the guy that removes the deer?
I don't know. I couldn't get that information from the engineer, but what a crappy job, right?
Well, I knew the guy. I even had the guy come to Rotary and speak about his job.
Yeah.
And he's like the only one guy that could do it like 5-6 years
Was he the
ago.
one that was feeding the dogs the meat or something?
Oh, that might have been Scott.
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He moved, he's in, Idaho.
Yeah, I don't really know who the person is now.
Oh, yeah, colorful character, but
Yeah,
solid
but
guy.
the agreement needs to be with the engineer, but apparently by law, we're required to supply some of the money. And we thought we had a solution, then we were told that was not the solution, so we just need to get this thing squared away. So,
Okay,
Sounds
thank
good,
you.
thank you.
thank you.
Any questions? Yes.
Yeah, Diane Jones, Auburn Township, and I do have a question about number 5, which was just brisked through very, very quickly. And my question regarded the actual information on Jogga Real Link, and I wondered if someone could describe, there are 5 distinct parcels, and so one of those parcels is indicated as agricultural use qualified, okay? And then the other 4 are indicated differently. They're indicated as commercial qualified, and, you know, I just want to know what the difference is between that, what's the difference between the 2 of them? As far as I've always understood, CAUV was CAUV. So who can explain that on those 5 parcels?
Probably the auditor.
Well, some of the parcels are farmed.
Right.
So some of them have a farm lease on them to be farmed for crops. And so that's why you have your CAUV on it.
Right, but that appears to be, you know...
And the other parcels, I believe, were also included in that originally before, and they are no longer being farmed. And so that's why there's a change in the status on them.
Okay, I'm just, you know, I don't think I've ever seen the property class for CAUV indicated as, I believe it's 407, as commercial qualified CAUV.
Well, isn't it the parcels that are here right across the street?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken,
Next to the hospital.
these parcels are the 3 directly across the street.
Right,
And
right.
then the county home property, portion of the county home property.
And which property?
The portion of the county home property, right down there.
Okay, yes, I did see,
So
right,
the-
okay.
The property
used
used to
to-
the county home and the infirmary, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's farmed.
they used to farm, we used to lease out for those properties for farming
Okay,
for many years. We don't, there's been no interest from farmers to farm the 3 fields across the street here. So those are the ones that, I don't know if
okay,
were
they appear to have
even-
been planted, though. There's appears to be a recent planting.
Across the street? There's nothing.
That's across the street, is it
The
not?
one by the county home? Yes, but the ones that are over here on Ravenwood, no.
I thought I saw soybeans out there a couple of years ago. Yeah.
They used to, a couple of years ago, but for the
Yeah.
last few years, we have not.
Oh.
There's been
It's
no,
been
there's
fallow.
been no interest for anybody, from a farmer to come farm those.
Okay,
we
so
have
it
not
was
leased
fallow
those
for
out.
X number of years,
Yes.
nothing was planted.
Correct.
Okay,
So they're gonna lose this here.
they lose their CAUV if it's
Correct.
left fallow for,
But I think that's
That's the
what
issue?
these are, is we have to file this paperwork every year to show, to request that. And if we're not funding it, at some point we'll lose it. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
undoubtedly.
have to keep applying until we're told we lose it. We keep applying for it.
Okay.
And one of the properties is where Next Step is at, correct?
The county-owned property.
Yes.
Well, it's the property.
Because the county-owned property is,
There's
that
multiple
whole,
parcels.
yeah, that whole area is always what we refer to as county-owned property, so.
Because that meshes into the situation where Chester Townships started inquiring about Metzenbaum area.
Right.
And I think since the Next Step is there, that we should take a deeper dive and figure out what's right and what's wrong. I mean, if we're gonna, I mean, it's a 501c3 and it's a really good program for youth that age out of foster homes. And maybe we shouldn't charge them I think it's $2,200 a month. Jerry, if you could please take a deeper dive in it and see if just using it for their use, like the utilities part for snow removal, a hole in the roof needs to be fixed, whatever, they pay for that. And then that way we're okay in the eyes of the state of Ohio Taxation Department.
We are looking into that.
Okay, because then instead of $2,200, maybe you could just charge them $750 or something a month, based on the cost, the actual cost.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and probably just asked Linda behind me, but what is the CIC?
Community Improvement Corporation. It's an economic development tool that counties can use. We used to have one and it kind of lapsed. And I've been trying to get it stood back up, I think I've since last summer. It's just taking a long time.
Thank you. And it goes through the treasurer.
The treasurer has authority under the law to be the guy who redoes the corporation and who appoints the board. And then it is a standalone organization. And the board asked us to do that just because they can use it as a tool for some economic development things they may want to do.
Anything else?
I move to adjourn.